Hey everybody! I've been getting a few questions about how this whole VIPKID thing works. So I guess I'm just gonna make a video and try and answer them. But if you still have more after it, let me know. Okay, so the first main question that I've been getting the most is prep work. Each class is 25 minutes, but how much do you have to prep for each class? I wondered the same thing. So for my first week, I was kind of freaking out because I hadn't done it before. So I spent probably an hour to 2 hours for every 5 hours of classes, which is kind of a lot. I just hadn't seen all the slides before, so going through them all ahead of time. Also getting the main props ready. That's something you just do initially, but once you have them, you have them. So now after about the first week, I get up 20 minutes before my first class starts, which includes reviewing my classes, my lessons, eating breakfast, getting dressed. I actually only change my shirt. I leave my pajama pants on because nobody sees them. And making sure that my hair is not crazy. So I would say about 5 minutes. Once you get in the hang of things, 5 minutes per class, which isn't too bad. There's also feedback that you leave after each class, and that takes literally a minute. You type in a message to the parents about how the student did. You type in some advice to future teachers of that student, and then you click on a couple just multiple choice kind of questions, like rating them, how they did on grammar and stuff like that. Anyway, it takes 1 to 2 minutes. So total time per class, including prep work, is 30, maybe 32 minutes. Another question I've been getting is scheduling. How does that work? I'm going to show you on my phone. So you open whatever time slots that are available. Obviously, when they're sleeping, they don't have time slots available. And they're in China, so they're opposite of us. So their night is during our day. So I'm going to show you on my handy dandy app how I do time slots. So up here you can see the date. Today is December 13th. And if I click on 14th, comes up and you can see it'll tell you which times are peak times. Do you see the little rectangle there? Let's see. Peak. And then PPT means extra peak, super busy times. So I usually do 5 a.m. Sorry, it's mirrored, so you have to read backwards. But I usually do 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. And they have classes all the way until, let's see, 8:30 a.m. And then they start again at 8 p.m. and go to midnight. So what you do, let's see, go to a class that I can select. So if I wanted to add a time slot, I click this little toggle switch here, click, and it opens it. And then if I want to allow the people to sign up for class within a day, within an hour's notice, I can click the 24-hour button. It means, yes, they can sign up the same day that is. I'm going to turn it off because I actually don't want to sign up for that slot. But it highlights blue. So if you don't click the 24-hour thing, they have to sign up for that slot 24 hours before it starts. So if you don't want last minute things signing up, you can just not click on that. But yeah, so you could literally sign up for what works for you. One day you might think, oh, I'm going to do one class at 10:30, and then the next day I'll do one class at 6:30 a.m. Or maybe you only want to work Saturdays. Say, oh, I just want to do 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Now you might wonder, how do I know if I'm going to get these hours? I guess you don't technically have a guarantee, but let me tell you, my first week, I signed up 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., which are peak hours. So I thought, okay, I might get those. And then I also turned on slots for 10 p.m. to midnight, Monday through Saturday. I did that. And I don't know how, I'm thinking it was my intro video. You make a little intro video for on your profile that parents can watch, and they can choose to sign up for you if they think you look fun for their kid. I'm going to post that at the end of this video. Anyway, so all of my time slots got full. I didn't think they would. That's why I opened so many time slots, because I was like, we'll see what happens. So I was doing classes from 10 p.m. to midnight, and then waking up at 4:30 and going again from 5 to 7. And I was freaking out because it was my very first classes, so I wasn't even sleeping very well. I was worried I was going to miss my alarm. But don't worry. That lasts like a week. And then you get in the hang of it. And it's fun. Okay, so yes, other than they can watch your profile video, and also parents can choose you by your reviews. So once you start teaching classes, parents give you reviews. Like instead of stars, they do apples. So you get 5 apple reviews. And then more and more parents will sign up. So far, I've only had like 1 or 2 time slots not be taken, even in the non-peak hours. Okay, another question is, how in the world can you teach English to Chinese kids without speaking their language? And the answer is TPR is what they call it, which I don't know. I forgot exactly what it stands for, but it's basically like using actions, and you use very basic language. So I would say, let's say the student's name is Lisa. Lisa, what is your name? And you hold up your ear. This is what they want you to do. If you want them to answer, you hold up your ear. Or if I'm teaching them colors, I could get my colors down. And you just say, blue. And they say blue. Blue! Good job! So that's kind of how it works. And they have the lesson slides. I will show you those. I'll set up for you. So you don't even have to come up with your own stuff. You go through what they give you. Let's see. So I'm showing, will be on your computer, but I'm showing you on my phone. So it's like a little PowerPoint. And you scroll through. This is a reward system slide. Sorry, I have to read backwards. So reward system, you think of your own reward. I made this little beehive thing with flowers, and if they do a good job, they get a B. I know it seems weird because they don't really get it. They get to see that they got it. And they actually are, most of the time, very like excited about earning Bs. And there's also stars they earn. You click on this when you're in class, you click on a little star and it pops up for them. And they need to get 5 stars per class to show that they did a good job. Anyway, so I would say something like, Lisa, if you do a good job, you get a B. Bzz. Boop. So that's what I would do for that slide. And then usually there's like a warm-up slide. You talk about, like, some of them are more advanced. So this one is usually students who can respond to questions like, Lisa, what is your favorite? Can you circle your favorite? And they'll circle their favorite animal. And then you quiz them on what they learned previously. Like this one had you quiz them on, Lisa, what is a baby cat? And they would say, a baby cat is a kitten. Okay, another question you might have is initial investment. Like, what stuff do I need to buy in order to do this? I spent about $30 total at the most for everything. I got this map at the dollar store. They want a background, like even if it's just a plain wall. They don't want you to like have the camera showing a whole room behind you, even if it's clean. Um, so you kind of have to set up against a wall. I'm in my basement. If you look closely, this is like cement wall. But anyway, so I had this shelf. You don't have to do a shelf. I bought a map at the dollar store. I also bought these at the dollar store. They're nice to have for teaching letters. And another thing they really like you to have that I did buy at the dollar store, but then my kids found it, and I need to get another one because they used it and messed with it, is a whiteboard and marker. So you can like demonstrate for the students sometimes what you want them to do for like circling things or like drawing lines to match things. That's very handy. Everything else. Oh, and then I bought a headset. They want you to have a headset with like a microphone. These were like $10. I should give you the link. They work perfectly. And 3 light bulbs, daylight, LED for the lighting. They want you to have good lighting. And natural daylight. LED, and they have to be a certain wattages. I can send you the link to that lighting video that tells you the exact wattages. So one is like the brighter one for the main light, and then there's another one here. I'll lift it up and show you in a minute. That's a little bit less to counteract some of those shadows, and then you have one in the back behind you that's just a tiny one. I put it on. Looks so ghetto. Tight up there. I had an IKEA thing. Oh, and be careful on those smaller ones. They have a different insert. So make sure you buy a lamp that has the insert for those smaller bulbs. I'm glad I happened to have one because I came home and I was like, oh, this isn't going to fit in a normal lamp. And I had another lamp on hand, and I did have to buy one, $7, a clip-on, a really handy clip-on one. I can just clip it where I need. Okay. Other than that, I gathered everything else around my house. Like I made this. I had all these. I use the guitar for like singing. You do a lot of singing. I can't remember if I told you about the props. They also give you props. They want you to print these out because they're like the characters that they use in their slides. I already converted. They gave them in PDF. I converted them all to 4x6 size JPEGs, so you can actually just send them to Walmart to print. It was $3 for like 30 characters. And it's the nice hard stuff, so it's sturdy, and you can just cut it out. You don't have to use up all your ink at home to print out. And I just taped them to popsicle sticks. And I did print out my bees. I could even send you all the files for the bees and everything I use. Okay. You might need a webcam. If your computer doesn't have a webcam, that's another thing you might need to buy. But that's not very much. You can get them for $5 to $10, I think, on Amazon. So I'm going to do a quick show of my work area, and then we will be done, I think. So here I have just a shelf full of some props. And then over here, down here is where I keep my other props. I have like food props, people and animal puppets, because you learn animals a lot. So people and animals. I have a bed because you talk about like monkeys jumping on a bed or like sleeping. You can show a bed. And then like playing sports and balls in that one. And those are like the main categories. You're pretty much covered with props if you have all those. Okay, so you saw the backlight. I'm going to turn it. It's just kind of a bright, shining light, but I just have them they're like 7 feet away, the lamps, and I just clamped them onto a board because that's where I could find a spot for them. Okay, well, there you are. Hopefully this answers questions, but let me know if you have more. All right, goodbye, everybody. Okay, I also forgot to talk to you about payment. For me, I have a bachelor's. You have to have a bachelor's. But I didn't have any official teaching license or teaching experience. I did talk about how I have experience with kids through my church. And they actually did use that. They put that I have 10 years of experience with kids at church. And they accepted that. They put that I had 10 years experience with kids. Anyway, so my base pay was $8 per class. So each class is the 25 minutes. And then you get an extra dollar if you're on time, and you get an extra dollar if you've taught 45 or more classes that month. So if you teach 45 classes, you get an extra $45 for the month. If you teach 100 classes, you get an extra $100. But if you teach 35 or less, I think it's if it's less than 25, you don't get that extra dollar per class. Anyway, so that's how the payments work. So I end up with $20 an hour. You get, if they have trial classes, which is a student just trying it out. They haven't signed up yet. And I assume they get it for free. You still get paid for it. But if they end up signing up after you do their trial class, then you get an extra $5. But if they're a no-show, with my trial classes, probably about 80 to 90% are no-shows. You get paid half, but you still get those extra $2. So it ends up being, you get 60% of payment. But you didn't really have to teach a class, so it's kind of cool. You get paid for, doing your own thing or prepping for other classes. Yeah. So there's that. You get paid once a month by the 15th of each month. So like I'd get paid December 15th for November's classes. And they just do direct deposit. And there's that. Okay. Oh, also, I'm going to put my link below, my referral link. So if you want to use it, you can. No pressure. If you have other friends in VIPKID, that's fine too. I'm willing to offer you support if you need and give you advice on interview or just easing your anxieties. If you're worried about something, let me know, because I was worried about everything. And I actually had a friend who referred me and she helped me. She was like, oh my gosh, I felt that way too. And it's okay. Like you learn your way through. Anyway, okay, I'm going to let you guys go. Let me know if you have questions. Bye.
Hi, welcome to VIPKID. My name is Teacher Olga. I can't wait to play with you